renegotiate the deal, but I think the deal will go on for a long time.
Tensions between Washington and Beijing have cooled, at least for now, after Donald Trump and Xi Jinping struck a trade truce. Meeting face-to-face for the first time since 2019, the leaders agreed to pause their economic confrontation at the APEC Summit in South Korea. The deal, which both sides called constructive and forward-looking, offers a temporary halt to years of escalating tariffs and sanctions. Trump said the talks were a 12 out of 10, describing a series of decisions reached during the 2-hour session. Xi Jinping said both nations had good prospects for cooperation, urging that competition not turn into a vicious cycle of retaliation. The truce covers several flashpoints, from rare earths and fentanyl to semiconductor sales, setting a calmer tone for 2025. China has agreed to suspend its export ban on rare earth minerals under a 1-year supply arrangement with the United States. Trump said the move removes a major roadblock in global technology supply chains, calling the rare earth issue completely settled. Beijing's Commerce Ministry confirmed the pause in export controls, while Washington rolled back part of its tech export restrictions.
We have a deal. Now, every year we'll renegotiate the deal, but I think the deal will go on for a long time, long beyond the year. We'll negotiate at the end of a year, but all of the rare earth has been settled. That's right. And that's for the world. I mean, worldwide. This, I guess you could really say this was a worldwide situation, not just the U.S. situation. So we continue to produce the rare earths and buy the rare earths and everything else, when you see from other countries. But China is, that whole situation, that roadblock is gone now. There's no roadblock at all on rare earth. That will hopefully disappear from our vocabulary for a little while.
So is that a 1-year pause on the policy they announced?
It's a 1-year agreement, and we'll extend it after a year. Like we do. It's a 1-year deal that will, I think, be very routinely extended as time goes by.
And what will your new tariff?
They're not going to impose the rare earth controls that they proposed. President Trump or President Xi came to an understanding on that point.
On fentanyl, Xi promised to curb exports of precursor chemicals, prompting Trump to halve tariffs on certain Chinese goods. Both sides framed the move as a goodwill gesture, signaling limited but tangible cooperation on one of America's biggest domestic crises.
Other than what the tariffs remain exactly the same.
55%.
It's about, it was 57, now it's 47.
And how
because we reduced it by the fentanyl, because I believe they are really taking strong action. We've already seen the action on fentanyl, and they're taking very strong action. So we reduced to 10%. So that'd be very strong in enforcing the fentanyl, everything having to do with fentanyl and regulations internally, including taking very strong measures against those that don't obey.
And a variety of other tariffs still remain. Section 301 tariffs from the original, a variety of Section 232 tariffs. Some of these tariffs are, as the President mentioned, around 40%. For some individual products, it may go up to 100%, but as a general matter, it's about 45, 47%.
Trump confirmed China could buy some U.S. semiconductors, though NVIDIA's powerful Blackwell AI chips will remain off-limits for now. He called the United States an arbitrator in global chip trade, emphasizing the need for balanced tech flow without compromising security.
We did discuss chips, and they're going to be talking to NVIDIA and others about taking chips. Look, we make great chips. NVIDIA is the leader. And I'll be speaking to Jensen from NVIDIA, but they're going to be discussing that with NVIDIA to see whether or not they can do. I said that's really between you and NVIDIA, but we're sort of the arbitrator or the referee. It's a little rough up here. The skies are a little rough.
And just to clarify, sir, that is the downgraded Blackwell chips. You would authorize those to be
No,
exported?
not the Blackwell. We're not talking about the Blackwell. That just came out yesterday. But a lot of chips, a lot of the chips. And that's good for us.
Trump announced plans to visit Beijing in April, while hinting Xi could visit the U.S. later, possibly in Florida or Washington. Both sides presented the meetings as a path toward restoring dialogue that had fractured under years of escalating economic pressure.
Yeah, that's another thing we agreed. I'll be going to China in April, and he'll be coming here sometime after that, whether it's in Florida, Palm Beach, or Washington, D.C.
Ukraine dominated the geopolitical discussions, with Trump and Xi agreeing to explore joint steps toward de-escalation in the conflict. However, Taiwan, a long-standing flashpoint, was notably absent from the agenda, a silence likely to raise eyebrows in Washington. Xi said China and the U.S. must shoulder responsibility as major powers, aiming to stabilize global markets and prevent future crises.
Yeah, we did. We discussed that, and we discussed basically these are rough winds in Asia. I must tell you, this is a rough flight. We could have waited an hour, maybe. This is a little tough. These are tough conditions for interviews. They're going to be watching Trump. They're going to say he didn't look too good. He's got the shakes. I don't have the shakes, but people are going to think I do.
You're pretty solid.
So Ukraine, it came up?
Yeah, it did come up. Ukraine came up very strongly. We talked about it for a long time, and we're both going to work together to see if we can get something done. We agree the sides are, locked in, they're fighting, and sometimes you have to let them fight, I guess. Crazy. But he's going to help us, and we're going to work together on Ukraine.
Russian oil.
There's not a lot more we can do.
Russian oil.
The oil, he's been buying oil from Russia for a long time. It takes care of a big part of China. And, I can say India's been very good on that front. But we didn't really discuss the oil. We discussed working together to see if we could get that war finished. It doesn't affect China. It doesn't affect us. And I'd like to see it done on the basis, I don't like to see 6, 7, 8,000 young people, mostly young people, for the most part soldiers, be killed. It's not costing us anything. In fact, we make money, and I don't even want to talk about making money. I don't care about making money in that case. But we send weapons to NATO. They buy full price, they buy the weapons, they give them to whoever, but I think they give them probably to Ukraine for the most part. And we discussed it. We discussed something. We're going to work together to try and get the war with Russia and Ukraine solved.
What about the Taiwan issue, sir?
It never came up. Taiwan never came up. Was not discussed, actually.